Welcome to your required workplace sexual harassment training. You have been selected as a student with aspirations of moving forward in the film industry. Every scenario in this training comes from real stories of real women. We will follow through the step-by-step process of the film production process, including auditions and on-set etiquette. After, we will have interviews with people with experience on the topic. As a reminder, you may pause and come back to this video, but after receiving the initial notice, you must complete this training in 30 days.
I think it would be more effective for us today if we actually had the girls read, don't you think?
Yeah, okay.
We're not really looking for the next Meryl Streep. We're just looking for someone to look hot next to Tom Cruise.
As long as she's pretty with nice tits, we got nothing to worry about.
I mean, it looks like we've got some pretty good candidates today. We should be in and out in like 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I just think we should at least see if they have the capability to act.
Listen, no one going to this movie is going to care about her acting ability.
They're all ready for you out here.
All right, bring them in. Let's see. I don't know about her. Those two have got potential. I think so. They look nice.
What about her?
She looks good.
Oh, no.
I hate to say it, but you know it's true.
Wow. Wow. Just wow. I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. We'd love to give you the part.
Oh my God, really?
Of course, we'd love to have you.
Oh my God, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity.
It's our pleasure. There is one thing we should discuss, though.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, as you know, our shoot starts in 2 weeks, which isn't a lot of time to prepare, but we will need you to start some sort of diet regime leading up to our shoot date. We're not asking for much, just around, about 15 pounds.
15 pounds, like lose 15 by shooting?
Yeah, at least.
I'm not sure I can do that. It's just 2 weeks.
We know it's on very short notice, but it is so very important to this role if you do this. If you can't do this, we're gonna have to look for someone else for the role, and we really don't want to do that, sweetheart.
I'm sorry, I'm just not sure.
Well, then we'll just keep looking. Have a nice day.
I can do it. It's no problem.
Perfect.
Looking at these situations, both casting leaders were being condescending. Words like sweetheart and honey are discriminatory by nature, and they condescend based on the woman's gender. Secondly, they were bribing women, using their power to offer them a potential advancement in their career to get them to do something that they're not comfortable with. Appearances should never take higher value than the actress's physical and mental well-being, and it is harassment to make them feel like less of a person. Now, let's move on to part 2, on-set harassment.
I want this shot. I want it handheld. The audience needs to see what she's doing.
We can't have the screen in the shot. The lines of the screen are fecking with the digital camera. If we were to do it stationary, we might be able to create a screen in post.
I want it handheld. It needs to add to the chaos.
We have enough chaos
What if we have
already.
a profile handheld shot of her face and cut in between stationary shots of the computer?
You're wasting our time. Go back to what I told you to do. And we need to fix this, and now.
I've been trying to.
Using
for
a profile shot would solve the problem. The script is clear, so we can infer on what she's looking up, but not have to spend more to fix the computer in post.
Let's try it. Thanks. At least someone around here is productive.
Now let's take a look at how this situation should have gone.
You're acting like an orangutan.
Why don't we have a profile shot of just her face and cut in between stationary shots of the computer? Then it would be...
Okay, you're wasting our time.
Wait, that's actually a really good idea. You may not even need the computer shots since the script is mostly clear on what she's looking up.
Let's try.
You may not always be able to stop harassment on set, as seen with the director bullying the assistant director. Raised tensions on set do not warrant verbal abuse. These particular situations were recreated for the purpose of this training. Now let's move on to part 3 and see just how real this discrimination is for women on set, both production leaders and actresses alike.
The producer told me, "I hired you to look good in your underwear holding a gun." I was told walking into this project that they really wanted me for the part and that any input or ideas I had to please share them. That's what I was doing, and this producer was so bothered by the fact that he had to disrupt his vacation to call me and tell me to stop being a difficult bitch.
I shadowed literally for hundreds and hundreds of hours on Dick Wolf TV shows, and again, they preferred to give the jobs to men.
I was hired by some producers to write for a miniseries about Luciano Pavarotti. So I spent the next 2 years or so just researching and speaking to his family and friends and just learning as much as I can about this man. And I became one of the leading experts on his life. And when I gave the producers everything I'd written, they were overjoyed and they loved it. And I told them that I wanted to direct, and they said no.
When I was 15, I asked to speak to the producer about the unrealistic diet regime I was on, and he responded by telling me he didn't know why everyone thought I was so fat. He thought I was perfectly fuckable.
I feel true disgust at the director who assaulted me when I was 16 years old, and anger at the agents and producers who made me feel like silence was what was required to stay employed.
I thought, wow, it's real. It really happens.
This production is too big budget for a woman.
And I wish I could say it was an isolated incident, but sadly I can't. Congratulations! You've completed your required workplace harassment training. Please take the learning in this video with you as you pursue your college degree and break into the film industry. Great job!
So I matched with this guy on Tinder, and we wound up going back to his place after a party. And I found out the hard way that he was a film bro, because instead of doing what one does when one goes back to one's place, is he showed me all of his films.